Salutations, everybody. Welcome to the best damn movie-related show on the planet Earth, the John Campea Show, coming from right here in our quaint little studio. I'm, of course, your host, John Campea, and it is an awesome honor and privilege, as it is every day, to have you guys, our international friends, gather around to talk about our favorite things in the world, movies and movie news, TV and streaming. I'm joined in studio today, of course, by my technical director, Jonathan Voico.
Hello, everybody. Full slate today.
A lot of stuff to talk about today. And most importantly, of course, all of you guys who are joining us, watching us live. Hello to everybody in the live chat. Thanks so much for being here today. And we do have a whole bunch of stuff to cover, but I will let you guys know too, that a little bit later today, like right now we're live at 12 p.m. Los Angeles time. That's 3 p.m. New York time. But a little bit later today at 4 p.m. LA time, that's 7 p.m. New York time, we're going to be having an open mic a little bit later today. So if you want to come back and join us for open mic, where all we do is take your questions and comments, you can use super chats and all that. But if you can't join us live for open mic, you can send in some questions in advance if you want by using our tip link at www.streamelements.com/JohnCampea/tip, and we'll get to those questions on open mic, and we'll hope to see you guys there. All right. With all that down, guys, let's get things started, and we're going to kick things off with this. You know, it was with a lot of fanfare that James Gunn and Peter Safran came in and took over DC Films, and when they did, they announced the slate of films that they were working on or developing. They didn't give a lot of release dates or make official greenlight announcements, but there was a big number of projects in there. Of course, we've already got Peacemaker out there, and we had the brand new Superman 2. But one of the projects that they said they were going to work on that got a lot of people interested was The Authority. Now, The Authority, for those of you who don't know, I believe they came from Wildstorm originally. Like they came from a different brand, and then they got brought into DC, and I thought they get incorporated into the rest of the DC universe with the New 52. But The Authority is basically, well, in many ways, kind of the boys.
Yeah.
Except they're good guys, sort of. They're just a team, which, by the way, included the engineer who was in the Superman movie.
Right.
They're a team that just basically is achieve our goals through any means possible. And if that means we have to overthrow governments, so be it. If that means we have to take out some villains, so be it. It was once described that like Superman even kind of helped assemble a new version of the Authority to help deal with situations that might be a little bit outside of the Justice League's purview. And a lot of people were kind of excited about that. However, we haven't heard a lot of development. And now it seems we've gotten some bad news, as James Gunn has basically let everybody know they're not going to do the Authority anymore. This comes to us from the folks over at IGN, who wrote this. In a series of posts on Threads, Gunn said Booster Gold is still in development, and Paradise Lost, that's the Themyscira Wonder Woman universe movie that they've been working on, or series they've been working on, is in extreme development, which suggests the latter is further along. Gunn is busy on production, of course, for next year's Superman sequel, Man of Tomorrow. He's not writing either of those. But it's bad news for The Authority, though. Gunn explained why the movie has fallen by the wayside. He said this: the script wasn't quite there, but more importantly, it didn't work in terms of the larger DCU, both in terms of the story and practical concerns. Maybe someday, but not soon. Maybe someday they'll come back to it. He's not saying that they will. He says maybe someday they'll come back to it, but it won't be anytime soon. All right. There are two sides of my brain, to be honest with you, of how I look at this. On the one hand, a little bit disappointed. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like The Authority was one of my most anticipated projects coming out of DC, but it was something I was interested in. So I'm a little bit disappointed on that. But here's the thing. James Gunn has always said from day one, we are not going to greenlight or date movies until we have a script we are 100% confident in, and that is 100% there. I mean, remember, James Gunn was at Marvel, and he learned a lot of lessons from Marvel, because as successful, wildly successful as Marvel has been, you know, they've also had a situation like Blade.
Right.
where they like literally brought Mahershala Ali out on stage. Now, we're doing a Blade movie, set a release date for it and all that. And they didn't have a movie that they were confident in yet. And the result has been 6 years of asking, where the hell is Blade? Where the hell is Blade? And James Gunn said, we're not going to make that mistake. Like, we are not going to greenlight or date any films until we 100% have a story that we are confident in. And while I am disappointed we may not be getting The Authority, I would much rather James Gunn say, you know what? We haven't cracked the code to the point that I think this makes a great movie that fits in perfectly with what we're doing. It is one of the ones we were taking a shot at, but it hasn't gotten there. So you know what? We're moving on. I would much rather have them do something like that than just say, well, I really want an Authority movie, so let's just make it regardless of how good or bad it ends up being. That's what AT&T Warner Brothers did with DC.
Right.
And we saw the results of that. We saw what happened there. A string of movies that never made over $300 million. A couple of movies they made didn't even make $200 million.
No, and Marvel was flirting with that strategy under, I almost said paycheck.
Yeah.
Because they were cranking out content instead of worrying about quality.
Right, because to Jonathan's point, remember under Bob Chapek, when he was CEO of Disney, he gave Marvel a strict mandate. And we know this because a Marvel executive confirmed this. Bob Chapek's mandate to Marvel was produce as much as you can, as fast as you can.
Right.
And James Gunn, who is very close with Kevin Feige, he's sat at a distance and he's seen that and he saw how that negatively affected Kevin Feige, how that negatively affected the Marvel brand. It affected them to the point that they're still recovering from it. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we're not going to be that. We're not going to do that.
Right.
Now, on the good side, for people who've been wondering, hey, what's happening with Booster Gold? Hey, what's happening with Paycheck will return in Avengers Doomsday? Well said, Mark. I just lost my train of thought. That comment was so good. Oh, yeah. So they are still working on the Paradise series. They're still working on the Themyscira series. So
yeah, we got to see who our Wonder Woman is.
Yeah, well, and if I remember what James Gunn said specifically, I don't think Wonder Woman's going to be a part of Paradise Lost. I think it's going to be set before she's born.
I see.
I think, if I remember that correctly, anybody in the live chat want to back me up on that? I'm not sure, but I think that's what they said. At any rate, so for a lot of people who've been asking, hey, what about Booster Gold? What about the Themyscira series? It looks like those things are still going. So that's good. But again, we won't get them until they're ready. And I love that that's two things I love. I love that is James Gunn's philosophy.
Right.
And I love that under a Warner Brothers that isn't controlled by AT&T, Warner Brothers is not pressuring him to do anything. It's like, yeah, you make your movies when you're ready and they're ready to be made. And
I think it also opens up the slate for, let's face it, the bigger tier characters, and people are calling for it. It's like they're already taking a swing with Clayface, and I love that. But are we going to go Clayface and then roll into Authority? Like, shouldn't we have some of the bigger players? Like, we're getting Superman, but we haven't even had a Wonder Woman. We haven't had a Flash movie. We haven't had a Batman movie. So I think this allows them to concentrate on their
Hell, we haven't even met Batman or Wonder Woman.
We need our so-called pillars.
Yeah.
So
now, again, I don't think they should only start by bringing out all the big ones. I like that they're mixing it up. I like that we had Peacemaker. I like that we're getting Clayface. But you can't go like 4 projects in a row with all unknown characters. Like, you're right. I think they need to mix it up, and I think that's what they're going to do. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? James Gunn has come out and said, yeah, we're scrapping the Authority thing. I mean, maybe someday we'll go back to it, but for now, it's kind of off the table. Oh, and by the way, one more thing about the whole Authority thing is, James Gunn said in an interview a little while back that they were having some trouble with the Authority, specifically because there's a show like The Boys out there. And his concern was when you get a show like The Boys, which is excellent, but is clearly partially influenced by something like The Authority, it's hard to do The Authority without drawing comparisons to The Boys.
Yes.
And he's like, The Boys is already doing a certain sort of thing that's so good, it's presenting problems for us developing The Authority. And that was yet another thing. Anyway, guys, once again, question is for you. What do you think about all this? Were you looking forward to The Authority? Maybe you've never even heard of them and you're like, what on earth are they talking about? Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comments below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? Easily and by far, my favorite film of this year so far is Project Hail Mary. It just blew away all my expectations that were quite high after going through the book 3 times. I was really excited about it. But one of the things I always said leading up to the movie being released was that I don't expect it to be a massive blockbuster, right? Because it's not as great as the story of Project Hail Mary is. It's not really a story that's for everybody. It's not good. It's not a 4-quadrant thing. It's not going to appeal to everybody. And not everybody has read the book or knows the book. So I said, I think this movie's going to be great, but I don't like, it's definitely not going to be $1 billion film. And I expect it to make money, but I don't expect it to be too big. I said, I think the ceiling for it is $600 million. Well, according to this new story out there in IMDb, Project Hail Mary worldwide box office has passed $600 million. As a matter of fact, it's even crossed. Who would have thought this? It crossed the last Mission Impossible movie, Final Reckoning. And it's now sitting at $613 million. $613 million. Which is so good for them. Like, I am so thrilled that they've hit that. I think that's incredible. Here's something interesting too. Take a look at the box office numbers. You see Michael there at the top. We'll talk about Michael in just a bit. Here's an interesting thing. In its 6th weekend, 6th, Project Hail Mary still made $13.2 million.
It's crazy. Domestic.
Just domestic.
Yeah.
13.2 million on its 6th weekend. And if you want to talk about legs, Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie, or Mario 2 as I call it, it's just crossed 830 million worldwide, right? Super Mario just had its 4th weekend and it made 21.2 million. So it's way ahead of Project Hail Mary, right? But here's the interesting thing. Project Hail Mary in its 4th weekend made roughly the same amount that Super Mario Galaxy just made in its 4th weekend. Just over $20 million. Now, Super Mario had a much bigger opening.
Sure.
But the legs of Project Hail Mary.
Well, just look at the percentage drop. It's sticky. It's like, it's not huge drops each weekend.
Yeah, like with this one, from its 5th to its 6th, 35.6.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the longevity and the legs of this movie. It screams about the movie's quality. It screams about people wanting to rewatch it. And despite the fact that I thought its potential audience was a narrower focus than most movies, it managed to go beyond what I said was its ceiling. I thought the ceiling was 600 million and it's now gone past that. Now, I see some people in the live chat suggesting it's going to get to 700 million. That might be at 613 million now, already in its 6th weekend. I don't know if it can leg out another $85 million. No. To be honest with you, especially now with Super Mario still being out there, Michael being out there, we got Devil Wears Prada 2 coming out.
Yep.
I just don't know that it can leg out another $85 million.
However, I think it's within realm to say it's going to surpass The Martian at 630.
Oh yeah.
631, I think.
How big is that?
And we thought, yeah, it won't get near The Martian, but it's going to be good, you know.
Yeah. Well, I thought it could get close to The Martian, but I didn't think it would pass The Martian.
It will.
And it will pass The Martian.
Yeah.
As long as Amazon doesn't do the inexplainable and pull it out of theaters this weekend. This week.
What's up with that?
Which, I mean, who knows, but it's still making money. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Project Hail Mary, I still believe is the best film of the year. I love this movie. I can't believe how good it is. It has now gone past what I thought the ceiling of it would be. It's now at 613 million. It's probably going to pass The Martian. And listen, I don't think it's going to get to 700 million. but it's not outside of the realm of possibilities that it could.
Yeah.
I say no, but it's still at least there. I never even thought it would get remotely closer. That would be a conversation. Whatever you guys think about all this, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, we were just mentioning the Mario 2 movie, Super Mario Galaxy, whatever the name of it is. The Super Mario Galaxy movie is what it's called. I just call it Mario 2. It is, of course, just had its 4th weekend. Still in 2nd place at the box office after 4 weekends. That's rare. And has now passed $830 million. And in its 4th weekend, made $21 million, which is more than a lot of movies make in their opening weekends. $21 million. Now, at CinemaCon recently, Donna Langley, who I like a lot, don't misinterpret what I'm about to say as if I don't. I actually like Donna Langley a lot. And I think she does a terrific job every CinemaCon. But Donna Langley, head boss of all things movies over at Universal, came out on stage at CinemaCon, you know, where all the movie theater owners are, and waxed poetic about how fiercely committed Universal is to their theatrical partners and to getting the theatrical windows back up and getting theatrical windows to 45 days. Granted, she said starting in 2027, but she said we are getting back to 45-day windows and painted this picture about how Universal is so desperately committed to their theatrical partners, which the windows are insanely important to the theaters. So she talked about and waxed poetic about how committed they are to their theatrical partners and all this kind of stuff. So right now they've got Mario Brothers in the theaters, making money.
Doing very well.
Doing extremely well and making money for everyone.
Right.
So you would think this studio head, after being on stage at CinemaCon, talking to all the theaters, talking about how valuable their partnership is and how fiercely committed they are to their theatrical partners. Granted, not guaranteeing the 45-day window till 2027, but painting this picture about how they are so pro-movie theater, pro-everything. We're about the windows. We're about our theatrical partners, all that kind of stuff. You would think that with a movie like Mario Brothers 2 that is sitting there making tons of money, then maybe this is a good opportunity to show that you weren't just blowing smoke out of your ass and keep this movie in theaters for a while because it's making money for everybody. But according to this story in Forbes, instead of doing that, instead of staying true to all this nonsense they were spewing, according to Forbes, Universal is getting ready to pull Mario Brothers out of theaters on May 5th. By the way, it's already April 27th. This movie is still number 2 at the box office.
And a big number 2, not like...
Yeah, not like $5 million number 2. It's $21 million at the box office. I don't think the movie is particularly all that good. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but people are going to see it.
Yeah.
They're going to see it in the movie theaters. And they're going to put it on home video next week? Now, granted, that does not mean they're going to pull the movie out of theaters next week.
Yeah, but so long box office.
Well, that's the thing, right? And I'm sure there are still going to be people who will still go. But I'm sorry. I understood your guarantee was for 2027, but when you stand in front of all the movie theaters and you blow all this smoke about how we're such good partners for you and we're really committed to this, and then you have a movie that is still number 2 at the box office, still making $21 million in a weekend, and you're going to put it on home video next week?
This is a tentpole.
That is a fart in the face of your partners. Not even a spit in your face. No, we're talking pink eye.
I fought in your general direction.
They are literally saying, put your face right here, and then dropping trowel and blowing glory all over their partners' faces. That's what this is. Because basically, what they already just said, what Universal just said to the public was, oh, were you thinking about going to see Mario Brothers? Or were you thinking about going to see it again? Don't bother. Don't bother. Don't bother, everybody. We're going to have it on streaming next week. If Forbes' report is accurate.
Jay Cruz brings up a point. Do they not want it to cross $1 billion? Because it kind of felt like it was on the way.
Now granted, in its fourth weekend, still needing $170 million, I think getting to $1 billion.
But at least 900.
Well, I mean, at least 900, sure. I think getting to $1 billion was going to possible, still possible, little more difficult, but possible. But yeah, I just don't get it. Like, to me, you just lied. Again, I understand. The promise was for 2027, but you talk all this stuff about how we're so pro our partners. And again, it's not like Mario was now down at number 11 on the box office chart, just made $2 million. It's still number 2 on the chart.
So next week is the 34-day mark?
Next week, yep, May 5th.
So they couldn't have waited just 9-10 days more?
That's the part that's staggering to me, because here's the thing. There is not one person out there, not one, that is interested in watching Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie at home that wouldn't watch it at home 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now instead of next week.
Yeah.
Not one. It literally costs you nothing to hold off a couple of more weeks, because whatever amount of money you're going to get from PVOD on May 5th, you would have gotten exactly that much more money on April 19th or on May 19th.
Right.
Exactly the same amount of money. But you are going to make less money in the theaters now, and you are going to hurt your theatrical partners. These partners you just stood on a stage in front of and talked about how committed you are, how loving you are. You know, it's just staggering to me. It's like if I was driving to Buffalo tomorrow and Jonathan asked me for a ride because he's going to Buffalo too. That costs me nothing. Yeah, I'm driving to Buffalo anyway.
Yeah.
Hop in. Costs me nothing. It would have costed Universal nothing to just honor the windows and all that kind of stuff. Now, it would have been different if Jonathan said, hey, can you drop me off in Vancouver on the way to Buffalo? That's different. That's
right.
Out of my way. That's costing me something. If Mario Brothers was already in theaters for 90 days, if Mario Brothers was only number 12 on the charts, if Mario Brothers was only making $900,000 on a weekend, I would get it.
21 million.
21 million it made this weekend.
So, Elias asked, what if Nolan gets 34 days? No way. There's no way they would pull that stunt with the Nolan movie.
Oh, no. No.
Unless they want him to go back to Warner Brothers.
Because I guarantee you, Christopher Nolan has it written in.
Yeah.
You don't put my movies on anything home video for minimum 90 days. I guarantee you Christopher Nolan's got that agreement with them, because Christopher Nolan is all about theatrical, right? So you're not even going to see freaking Odyssey on home video in 45 days.
No.
Minimum, it'll be 90. Yeah. And if they ever tried to break that, number one, he would sue them. And number two, he'd be bye-bye Universal, hello Disney.
Right.
So anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Super Mario Brothers, which is still at number 2 in the box office charts after 4 weeks in theaters, still made $21 million, but is going to get dropped on VOD next week, or premium VOD next week. I think it's just stupidity. I think it's absolute stupidity. And again, I like Donna Langley and I like Universal, but this is absolutely stupid. Whatever you guys think, jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. There are still a number of things we need to talk about here, including I'm going to tell you guys about a new strain of clickbait that is absolutely driving me insane. Spider-Man Noir dropped a brand new trailer. House of the Dragon Season 3 just dropped an amazing new trailer. And the Michael Jackson biopic has just officially set the all-time opening weekend box office record for not only musical biopics, but all biopics. We're going to talk about those things and a few things more. But before we do, we're going to take a quick second and thank the sponsor of today's episode of the John Campea Show, our friends at Pocket Hose. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Pocket Hose. Guys, I'm excited to tell you about the world's #1 expanding garden hose and their brand new product, the Pocket Hose Ballistic. As you guys can imagine, I'm not exactly gentle with my gear. I drag hoses across concrete over the pool, yank them around corners. I even coil and uncoil them all the time to put them in my camper van when I go out on my movie meetups. And generally speaking, a lot of them don't last. But the Pocket Hose Ballistic has been a totally different story for me. It's incredibly durable, super lightweight, and just makes the whole job easier. One of my favorite things is how simple it is to use. You turn the water on, it expands. Turn it off, it shrinks right back down to pocket size. And it's reinforced with a liquid crystal polymer, the same kind of material used in bulletproof vests. Plus, it comes with the pocket pivot, which gives you 360-degree rotation at the spigot so it moves with you instead of fighting against you. And now, for a limited time, when you purchase a new Pocket Hose Ballistic, you'll get a free 360-degree rotating pocket pivot and a free thumb drive nozzle. Just text Campea to 64,000. That's CAMPEA to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. Text Campea to 64,000. Message and data rates may apply. And thank you to our friends at Pocket Hose for sponsoring today's episode of the John Campea Show. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. Clickbait is not just an issue for the movie sphere at all. I'm not pretending that it is, but it's, I think, particularly bad in the movie sphere. Now, clickbait, like any virus, it mutates, it evolves. We get different strains of the virus. You know what I mean? Clickbait started off as we don't see it as much anymore, thank God, but it was one of those things like, dog walks into a house and you won't believe what happened next.
Yeah. Click these next 3 pages to find out, and you never find out.
Woman is confronted by producer and you won't believe what she said. Like, that was kind of the genesis of clickbait. Now, then clickbait kind of evolved, and then it became just straight up misleading stuff, right? Like things in headlines that had nothing to do with anything. And so there was that. But there's a new strain of clickbait going around that I'm sure has been around longer than I've been really noticing it, but I've really seen it become bad in the last 2 or 3 months. And that strain is not telling you what the story is. Let me give you an example of one that I saw today. Now, this is from CBR, and I'm just to be clear, I'm not trying to pick on any particular site. Okay, I'm not. This is not just a CBR problem. This is one that's going around a lot. But here's an example that was in my newsfeed today. HBO Max's 6-part crime drama is an instant global streaming hit. What 6-part crime drama? What show are you talking about? And that has become a big thing. You know, it used to be, like, say you were the Hollywood Reporter or Variety or Deadline, right? You grow your audience by creating quality content, writing great articles, being really informative, and their headlines was, hey, you know, Harrison Ford joins the cast of House of the Dragon Season 4.
Yeah.
By the way, I just made that up. Don't.
No, but you're not far off. So today you posted that picture on Instagram. And I'm not kidding. The post below yours was Deadline, and it was this perfectly good headline that told you everything about House of the Dragon that the article was about. I'm like, come on, the timing.
Yep. So what places like Deadline and Hollywood Reporter and Variety go is they believe, hey, the topic of this news story we believe is interesting, and we're going to put it in the title so you know exactly what the story is about, and we believe you're going to come and read our reporting on this story, and that's how you're going to become big. But what a lot of these outlets now in the movie sphere that aren't the top shelf outlets like Variety, Hollywood Reporter, and Deadline is they feel the need to try to trick people into clicking. Now, they're not lying. It's not a lie, but it does become a lie. I'll tell you how in a second. Because bring this one up again. What they will often do is have like a title like this, or here's an example. HBO's hit series, fans concerned over news of major character's death.
Oh, God.
And then what they do, not only that's bad enough as it is, but then what they do is the picture in the news feed is a picture of like the star character.
It's a main
making
character.
you think that, oh, that's the character they're killing off.
Yeah.
And then you go read the story. You read through 5 paragraphs of nothing. And then they finally get to the paragraph, to the news in paragraph 6. Oh, and it's this character who's been on for 2 seasons. It's not the person who's in the story.
No, and they were like the assistant to the deputy mayor in that shot.
Yeah. I mean, so that's right. Now, just so you know that I'm not, hallucinating here. Let me go to my news feed here. This is today's news feed.
Oh, yeah.
This is my news feed today. All right.
Shout out Feedly.
This is Screen Rant.
Uh-huh.
All right. Again, I'm not trying to pick it on any particular site. And I haven't read this. This is right now. This is today's news feed. I'm going to see if there are any of those clickbaity things where they don't actually tell you what the story is.
We'll do it live.
Look at this. Number 1, the very top one. From season 4, officially debunks a popular Randall theory. They don't tell you what theory. They don't tell you what has been debunked. They just say a popular theory's been debunked. Oh, okay. Let's go down a top 10. That's nothing new. Okay, Quentin. Okay, this isn't as bad. Quentin Tarantino's $426 million Western crime thriller is officially getting a sequel. They don't tell you what movie. They don't tell you if it's one that he wrote, directed, produced, had breakfast about.
Guarantee you it's not a Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Russell Crowe's $359 million historical epic is about to leave streaming. Which movie? We're not going to tell you. You've got to click for us to tell you.
You lose.
Let's see if there's any more. Here, Stranger Things finally ignores the show's worst subplot. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, we're not going to tell you. Again, I just clicked on Stream Rant and opened up the feed. Oh God, I hate this. Now,
Ignores the worst. It's like nothing.
Now, I say this more, this is less me as a movie fan as I am a movie sphere on the internet fan, right? Like I read, like you see here, like I read a lot of outlets, right? I follow all these outlets. I go through all their news feeds every day, all that kind of stuff, trying to see what's going on. And this new trend has just been infuriating to me. Absolutely infuriating. Hey, listen, if you're good, if your outlet is good and you believe in your product, just put the damn topic in the title. Let's put the top. What is this about? Just say it and believe that your content is good enough that when people come to read it, they're going to like it and stay and whatever. This new thing about just trying to lure people or trick people into clicking. I know for sure this is not just a movie sphere issue. I know this goes beyond just the movie sphere. I'm sure stuff like this probably happens in the video game news feeds or the music fandom news feeds or sports news feeds. I don't see it nearly as badly in sport. Actually, I don't see it at all in the sports news feeds as far as I can tell. But this is becoming a really bad thing in the movie sphere, and I hope it dies. I really hope it goes away and dies. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Have you noticed this trend before? Maybe you've seen it around longer. Maybe you've never noticed it at all. Anyway, whatever you guys think about it, jump down into the comments section below and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, Spider-Man Noir has been one of the more interesting projects in development because it's not really one I've been dying to see. But I certainly did love Spider-Man Noir in the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie. And I love the idea of Nicolas Cage, who voiced that character, actually doing live action. And they're doing it with Amazon MGM. And I'm looking forward to it. But it's not one. It's one that kind of seemed strange.
Yeah.
Strange that we're doing it. Then a little while ago, they released the first trailer. And it gave us a little bit of a taste. I thought, okay, you know what? This looks interesting. Well, today, as being reported in the Hollywood Reporter, Spider-Man Noir's official full trailer has Nicolas Cage battling Brendan Gleeson, who I think is absolutely one of the best actors on the planet. Like guys like him, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and one or two others, just like the most underappreciated actors they're amongst the best actors in the world, and they really don't get any credit. But Brendan Gleeson is one of those guys as one of the supervillains. The Prime Video live action based on the Spider-Man Noir comic has Cage as a 1930s era web slinger. This new trailer came out, and I'm going to tell you, this is the trailer that has officially got me excited about Spider-Man Noir. This is the one. They say that trailers, we talk about all the time on here, trailers' job is simple. Take your enthusiasm level for an upcoming movie or show and bump it up a bit. Maybe a little bit, maybe a lot, but bump it up a bit. Sometimes they fail to do that. This one is mission accomplished because I am now not just interested in seeing Spider-Man Noir. I'm salivating to watch this. And here's the other thing that's it's changed my mind a bit. They've always announced that they were going to put it out in two different versions. A color version and a black and white version.
Right.
And I may have even said on this show, I don't know if I said it publicly, maybe I did, but I thought I said on the show before that, I found the black and white thing to be just a gimmick. Making it black and white doesn't add anything, right? So I'm like, that's fine that they're doing black and white, but kind of a gimmick. You know what? Totally changed my tune.
I mean, my tune was changed with Werewolf by Night. I mean, I loved it. I loved that because it felt like a 30s throwback.
Yeah,
and I did watch it in color, but for some reason, this seems weird. It feels more real in black and white.
I don't know what it is. Like with Werewolf by Night, I didn't think black and white was necessary for me, right? And certainly coming into Spider-Man Noir, I haven't thought black and white was necessary for it either. But I'm telling you, man, the idea of black and white is to add to that feel of a 1930s sort of thing, right? And it just inhabited that trailer so well, the black and whiteness of it, that at the end of the trailer, when they switched it to color, it felt wrong. And that is a total 180 from the way I usually feel about this stuff. Like I remember when they put out a version of Logan in black and white. Yeah. That was so gimmicky. It was not, that did not need to be in black and white, blah, blah, blah. And I've always felt that kind of way about it. But this trailer has made me actually feel like this project it might be appropriate for.
It feels like I don't know exactly how they shot it, but it reminds me of when they colorize old films. So it was originally shot black and white, and they colorize it, and it never quite looks right. Like you kind of prefer like I would hate Casablanca in color. I just would. It would look weird that they colorized it.
Well, also because that's just the way you know Casablanca, right? I've seen a couple of colorized films where colorized was the first time I saw it, and it was like felt perfectly fine. But then the films that got colorized where I had already seen their original black and white, then it felt completely wrong. Because like I already have it in my head for the way it's supposed to be, right? But I'm just telling you, I thought this trailer was terrific. And not only did it sell me on the show and the series, but it sold me on the black and white of it too.
I'm watching it in both for sure.
Oh yeah, I think I'm definitely going to watch it in black and white first.
Yeah.
And then as long as it doesn't feel too jarring, when I start watching it in color, I'll try it in color and see how it goes. But I don't know if it's going to work for me there. But again, Brendan Gleeson looks fantastic.
And this is more than I expected. It's almost like a Sinister take on Sinister 6 a little bit.
It feels like it might be part procedural, part villain of the week.
Yeah.
right? Like, which would fit with the whole private eye motif of it, right? And that, by the way, that one line that Brendan Gleeson says in the trailer, "May the best man live."
Live, yeah.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson saying that? I thought that was great. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you see the new trailer for Spider-Man Noir? I thought it was fantastic. Like, I am all on board now with this. This has totally gotten me on board. And I even really like the black and white nature of it. Whatever you guys felt about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, Spider-Man Noir wasn't the only thing that dropped a new trailer today. The popular HBO series House of the Dragon Season 3 just dropped a new trailer and giving us a release date for June 22nd. So it's not that far away. And as we can see here in Deadline, they talk about the premiere and date for new House of the Dragon's been dropped. And I got to tell you guys, I think this trailer is fantastic. I think this trailer is utterly fantastic. Now, I'm not going to say that House of the Dragon is as good as Game of Thrones in its prime was, but I think it's close. I think it's close. And I know there season 2 of House of the Dragon had its detractors. I don't know what you're smoking. I have no idea what you're smoking. Now, of course, it's all subjective. Art hits us in different ways. Of course, I'm not trying to crap on you if you don't think the same thing about a show that I do. Not at all. I'm just saying I watched House of the Dragon season 2 and I'm like, I don't understand what's not to love. Like when I watched Michael, I really enjoyed Michael. I had a good time with it. But when I read other people who didn't like it, I'm like, yeah, I can get it. I get it. I get why you didn't like it, even though I did. House of the Dragon, I don't get. And that's fine. That's okay. That's fair. But I just don't know what there is not to love. I really loved season 2. Maybe not quite as much as season 1, but I did love season 2. And now season 3. And it seems like in this trailer specifically, I remember there was an old South Park episode. You guys know the one where they go and meet George R.R. Martin. It's the one where they have the famous song, "Wieners, flaccid wieners, wiener wieners." That episode where one of Butter's big complaint was, "Where are the dragons? Where are the dragons? When are we going to get the dragon? Oh, don't worry, the dragons are coming," right? All that kind of stuff. So that's been like a complaint through there, and even a little bit in House of the Dragon. And it seems like for season 3, at least in making this trailer, they were like, "Oh, hey, all you Game of Thrones House of Dragon, you want dragons? Bleh. Here's dragons."
Right.
A lot of dragons. There's this one shot in the trailer. By the way, how good is that?
I love that shot.
You know what? Matt Smith, if his career had ended a bit ago, he would have obviously gone down. The most famous thing for him is probably, even though he was in The Crown, and he was great in The Crown. I think he was a Doctor Who.
Yeah, Doctor Who was big. Yeah, his biggest thing at the time.
I think now when people remember Matt Smith, it's going to be he was Daemon Targaryen. Although there are a lot of people who love The Crown, maybe they think of him as Philip. But at any rate, there's this one shot in the trailer of Vhagar landing on the keep.
I'm like,
there. Listen, in House of the Dragon, a number of the dragons have awesome designs, like absolutely awesome designs.
Thick.
But I think Vhagar's is my favorite. His is my absolute favorite. There's just something so nightmarish about him. Anyway, so again, and they hit on a number of the dramatic beats. I love that one line where I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember it word for word, but she says, "You're going to do things that are unthinkable to you in order to win this war. You're going to do things that are going to keep you awake at night to win this war." Oh, and like when one guy says, "I'm going to kill my brother." It's like,
yeah, I was a little shocked. And he's looking a little worse for the wear.
He looks great.
Yeah.
I was wondering a lot after season 2 how they were going to make his physical appearance as we move into season 3. And like I said,
Kind of looks like Palpatine there a little bit.
do it.
Unlimited power.
Somehow the king has returned. So yeah, and listen, I'm not one of these guys that I didn't read some of the older books before, but curiosity got the best of me and I skipped ahead.
Yeah.
Like everybody else did. And we know where things are going.
Sure.
But still,
it's not a happy story. I mean, put it that way.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
It is not a happy story. Even like we're just coming off of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which was so fantastic. Night of the Seven Kingdoms was so good. But I again kind of got into the reading ahead to see what happens.
Right.
Not a happy story with Egg and Dunk.
No.
I mean, some happy times.
And good stuff, for sure.
Some good stuff,
Yeah.
some happy times, some good times.
The real bad stuff is a ways off. I mean.
Still,
Yeah.
still not a happy story when you get to end anyway, all that kind of stuff.
Well, they have to remind you this is the world of Game of Thrones and Westeros.
Yes.
And, you know.
Yes. And I think that's key. And I think that's important. And as somebody who already loves the show, and as somebody who's already looking forward very much to season 3, this trailer has just revved the engine for me. Like I'm super excited for this. I cannot wait for it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. Did you have a chance to watch House of the Dragon's new trailer, the season 3 trailer? If so, what did you think about it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. All right, guys. With that down, let's move on to this. Michael has just set the all-time opening weekend box office record, not only for musical biopics, but for any biopic. As the Hollywood Reporter here is talking, box office stunner Michael over the moon with a record $97 million opening weekend, 217 globally. The Michael Jackson film scored the top launch ever for a biopic domestically after passing Oppenheimer, as well as the best global opening for a musical biopic after overcoming the biggest divide between audience and critics in recent memory. To put this in context, Michael, now with $97 million opening, look how much that beats the previous record for musical biopics. Straight Outta Compton was the number one with a $60 million opening. Michael obliterated it.
Mm-hmm.
Michael absolutely obliterated it. Right behind that was Bohemian Rhapsody at 51.1 million, Elvis at 31.2, and Bob Marley One Love had an opening weekend of 27.7. I accidentally put worldwide in there. It was not worldwide. That's domestic.
Domestic, right.
And by the way, this is a good time to remind everybody, when talking about opening weekend numbers, you should only exclusively be talking about domestic. Why? Because different movies open in a different number of countries from movie to movie. One movie may open in 18 countries, another movie may open in 55 countries, another movie may open in 68 countries, right? So it's never useful to talk about opening weekend in terms of its worldwide, because that differs from movie to movie. That's why whenever we and whenever you and in general, when people talk about opening weekend numbers, it's always talking about domestic. Whenever we talk about the overall money a movie made, then we're talking worldwide. But when you're talking about opening weekend, you always go by domestic because that's the only way to compare apples to apples. It's the only way to do it. And when you compare apples to apples, Michael just obliterated it. And again, we were saying a little bit earlier, and like it says in the headline of that Hollywood Reporter story, not only is it the biggest musical biopic of all time, but I believe Oppenheimer, which was the all-time biggest opening weekend for a biopic, was, I think, 82 million. And Oppenheimer very nearly became $1 billion film. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right. Which is beat.
Which is the biggest musical biopic of all time.
Yeah.
Opened to 51.1, but it had legs.
Yes.
And it also came very close to being $1 billion film. Now, I also think Bohemian Rhapsody is a bit of a better movie than Michael is.
Mm-hmm.
But still, Michael makes 97 million, hits the all-time record. Now, you guys know, who've been watching my show, that for a year, I've been saying the Michael is going to be $1 billion film, depending on how good the movie is, right? But I've said people are selling it, underselling how big Michael it's going to be. It's going to be massive, all that kind of stuff. Of course, now it just breaks the all-time record. I am no longer sure that it's going to be $1 billion film.
She sure as hell wasn't in
Janet
this,
will
so
return from Adventures Doomsday.
maybe.
I mean, yeah, Janet wasn't in this movie.
No.
Man, I know I've said it before, but that was one of the weird things watching Michael. Like, whenever they had all the big family scenes,
Right.
like, Janet not being there was such a hugely obvious thing. It was not subtle.
No.
Like, if there was a girl on screen, it was either Michael's mom or it was LaToya. That was it. There was no Janet in the movie. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm not 100% sure that Michael can make $1 billion anymore, because it's not I don't think the movie is as good as I was hoping it would be. Like, I still liked it. I think it's good. I had a good time watching it. I'll probably go back and watch it again. But it wasn't as good as I thought an Antoine Fuqua movie would be. And I don't know that it's going to have, like, something like Bohemian Rhapsody, which had like half of the opening weekend that Michael did. Well, that movie was just so good. It just had legs.
It showed the artist's flaws.
Yeah, it showed a lot. It went much deeper into the stories. It went much deeper into the characters. The characters weren't one-dimensional.
Yeah.
And it was just a better movie overall. And so even though it only had a $51.1 million opening weekend, it ultimately went on to got close to being $1 billion film, made over $900 million. I don't know that Michael can get to $1 billion, because it's not as good of a movie as, say, Bohemian Rhapsody or something like that. But man, it's going to make a ton of money.
Yeah. Mason asked, do you think part 2 would make more or less?
Oh, that's a great question, Mason. That is a great question.
Well,
I'm going to guess less.
I would too. And here's the other issue, is that we would expect the second part to go more into, even if you take out allegations, he still had a lot of stuff that was like in the tabloids all the time. And if the family's just going to ignore it, like, no, everything was perfect and he just made all these great decisions, then what's the point of the part 2?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think part 2 will definitely get more into some of the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just call it drama. I think part 2 will get a little bit more into the drama. I just don't think it will make as much as part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, everybody who's gone to see part 1 and loved it are definitely going to go back. But I don't know that the people who went and didn't love it are necessarily going to go back.
Although 97% on the popcorn meter, right?
Yeah.
So those are verified.
But again, that's really reflective of people who are already pre-existing big Michael
Yes.
Jackson fans, right?
And that's probably the size of your audience.
Yeah, and by the way, he didn't ask if I think part 2 will drop in half.
No.
Yeah. I don't like, if Michael goes on to make $850 million, I don't think Michael part 2 will make $300 million.
No.
Like, if part 1, say, makes 850, I think part 2 makes 790, 800.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still think it makes a lot.
But it's not making more.
Yeah, I don't think it makes more, though. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Frankly,
Totally
I
just
think
guessing.
the music is better and that would be better in the first portion anyway, because I felt like from the 90s on, his music was weaker.
I mean, okay, you are right. But my all-time favorite Michael Jackson song, and I've got a lot of songs of his I love. My all-time favorite Michael Jackson song is Black or White.
But that was the best song in the album. And then it went down from there, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, that's true too. Oh, God, I love that song. I still remember the first time I saw him play it live. It was the weirdest combination. It was during one of the big live music award shows.
Okay.
And you hear the announcer as the camera's sweeping around the auditorium. Ladies and gentlemen, with his good friend Slash, Michael Jackson. I'm like, wait, what? Did I hear that?
I feel like Slash is on everything now.
Yeah.
If there's like an award show, Slash is going to play with them.
But at the time,
Yeah.
at the time, I'm like, wait a minute, I couldn't have heard that right. Did he just say with his good friend Slash?
Especially in that era.
Yeah.
But did he do
Especially in that era.
was he doing the guitar like the
Yeah. So he comes up and it's just Slash in his full,
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses outfit with his guitar. By the way, I love that riff. I think that is great. And he just plays that the whole time. And I think he might have ripped out a bit of a solo too. But anyway, so that was weird. That's my favorite Michael Jackson song.
All right.
And I'll look forward to that. But you're right. That's one of the things that's going to be hard for the second one is that the music of Michael Jackson after the bad era was still quite good, but all of his most iconic stuff is now already done. I mean, the most iconic stuff is done. So it's going to be a little bit challenging for it. But again, not to take away from the headline here. What a huge record. Again, it beat the previous record by more than 50%. Look at these numbers again. Straight Outta Compton, 60.2 million was the all-time record, and Michael just absolutely obliterated it.
Well, and great timing because just kind of going back to one of our earlier stories with Mario going to be gone. Well, not gone, but let's face it, with Mario being reduced in a week,
they're hindered. Mario's going to become hindered after.
They're
next
happy
week,
to have Michael.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Listen, a lot of us thought Michael was going to make a lot of money, and it's followed through. $97 million opening weekend, obliterating the previous record from Straight Outta Compton, which is also a great movie, at $60.2 million. How big can it go? Do you still think it can get to $1 billion? Bohemian Rhapsody made half of that and almost did. I don't know. Whatever you guys think about that, jump down into the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys, that will do it for today's installment of the John Campea Show. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Big special thank you to all you guys who joined us live for the show today and some of the great comments that you guys were following in as well. Don't forget, a little bit later today, actually 3 hours from now at 4 p.m. Los Angeles time, 7 p.m. New York time, we're going to be doing an installment of Open Mic. If you guys have questions or topics or some conversations you want to have, come on in and join us for that. We'll look forward to seeing you there. I want to thank, of course, our technical director, Jonathan Voico.
See you guys later.
My name is John Campea, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. And until next time, my friends, bye-bye.